Welcome again, everyone, along to the Wexford Soccer panel. This is week 17 we're up to now, so we getting quite a good lot of views over the weeks, and thanks for joining in. Tonight we're joined by David Dodd, Wexford Boys manager, Martin Armstrong, and reliably informed, plenty of clubs, more than Tiger Woods, and former referee across GA and football, and then Nicky is here as always. So we're going to get stuck into the results from the Cup from last week. There's probably too many to mention, so I'll just throw it out to the lads. Sure, Dave.
Go on.
Give us your debrief on it.
No, there's no excuses. We didn't underestimate them by any stretch of imagination or anything like that. We were well prepared. We actually trained Saturday afternoon with the purpose of set pieces and stuff like that. So the boys were not underestimating our them by any stretch of imagination. We didn't start well. We started against Moyne 2 weeks ago and against Gorey the previous week, to the North End game, and we started out the traps very quickly, and we kind of unsettled both teams and finished slowly in the Moyne game, or finished slowly in the Gorey game and finished strongly in the Moyne game, which I stressed to the boys that North End will be wanting to get on to us early in the game, but we didn't match them. It took us 20 minutes to get into the game. Once we got into the game, North End got a goal at a nice time. Just when we were getting on top, they got a goal at a nice time. And to be honest, we were playing catch up from there on in. They're a very decent side. I'm not one bit surprised with the result. I knew there was going to be nothing in the game, and Jason Murphy got an absolute cracker of a goal, to be honest with you. I could throw a little
Paddy was unlucky though, wasn't he?
No, Paddy was unlucky. I was just going to say I could throw a little dig at Paddy there now.
Paddy's in a different parish, I heard.
Yeah, different parish, yeah. But no, there was going to be nothing in it, and with the lack of goals that we're scoring this year, I felt at 2-0 it was too big of a mountain to climb for us. I was hoping to get the second one and get into extra time, and it was a new game then, but we just didn't get there, to be honest. We weren't really creating the real clinical chances that you need in a game like that. But no, I won't take anything away from North End, and congratulations to them, they're through. They had young Caelan Brothers playing there. The two Carneys were very strong at the back. Into midfield, Denny's young lad was excellent on the day, now I have to say. Jason was his usual handful up front, and then they had pace in the young Darryl Powell, and Ashley Hall was on the other side. And right through the team they had decent enough players, and there's a few ex-League of Ireland players in there, there's a few FAI Junior Cup medals in there, so for a B team they're very strong. And sure, all you can say is wish them best of luck in the next round, and they're home to Timon, and it'll take a good side to put them out.
Yeah, they've dotted good players all over the park. It's the sign that they're such a strong club.
Top of Division 1, should they're flying.
The
Shells and the minor.
To be honest with you, young Foley, Brothers, Jay did get into a lot of Premier teams. So it'd be no disgrace losing to them. It's only a B team in name, really. I wouldn't call them a B team if they were named after any other club. What's the difference this year, lads, or yourselves?
Difference this year, big difference I'd find is there's a couple of managers that are saying to me, and I've heard said, like Aidan has said the same thing about his players, and they're missing Pat Doyle maybe, but they're not really missing because they're not going to get him back. But the big thing for me is we're missing Dermy and Marty and Jamie Thomas. Jason Swords is back now the last couple of weeks, but we only got him back last couple of weeks. The big difference in those players not being here this year is, since coaching came to Wexford Boys a couple of years ago, and I suppose coaching has been in some of the bigger clubs for 5-6 years now, but once you coach, like we struggled in the Premier League last year against some of the better sides, and we were trying to point Marty and Dermy in the right direction, as regards training sessions. We come to training session with a plan now. You come and you try and teach the boys about the opposition you have on Sunday, and you get the boys into positions in midfield where you want them, or you get them in positions out wide where you want them, and you've gone through the hard work of last year. And then you come to this year, then you're expecting the boys to flourish from the experience of all last year's training and the mistakes that they made in games last year. And then all of a sudden, those 4 or 5 players are gone. So you have 4 or 5 more players coming in, then we have to go back to the drawing board. And to be honest with you, we got in a lad he played with Kalena in Division 2 last year, maybe Division 3. And our B team captain came up to the first team. And you're replacing lads with 2 players that played in Division 3 and Division 2 last year, say, and then you're trying to coach them into the same thing. So that is a difference now. And no disrespect to the boys to come in, and Ian Farrell done well, like Aidan said to me up there, who's that chap played number 6? He had a great game against Moyne. he didn't look out of place at all, and he has come on, but you're back to the drawing board basically.
We actually managed to seat him there 5 or 6 years ago, and he was playing with the Bows seat at that time.
Yeah, that's
I was surprised when I saw him up in the Mine pitch actually playing myself, but he had a good game.
Yeah, no, he's a good chap in the sense he'd give you everything in every game, you know, but like, he does take that little bit of coaching in that, because like you know yourself, if you go rushing into tackles against some of the better players around you, you're not that, do you know what I mean?
When you lose your top 2 or 3 best players there.
Yeah,
no matter what team you're up against it, like.
Barrier, the big boys, you know, like, and it goes to show even the big boys, the Premier League champions, they lose one player, and it does affect the whole lot of it. Like,
it's funny that you ask at the soccer preview what the change was for Wexford Bows this year. The change for Wexford Bows came in Belfield on the 28th of September, 3 days before the transfer window, when Aidan Nolan scored the goal to draw.
That's right, yeah.
And the replay wasn't played for 5 weeks.
We should have took that free shot instead of going for the score from the sideline.
We were 5 weeks without 5 players and no chance to sign anybody else 2 days before the transfer window. So there was the change for Wexford Bows in the year, do you know what I mean? And to be honest with you, 5 weeks the game wasn't played for, but we haven't seen any of those players.
Yeah.
You know?
So
there's a big change.
Yeah. So then the other all Premier League game that we forgot to talk about last week, which was my fault, was Ford Celtic against Campoyle, and Campoyle came away with a 3-1 victory. So we shocked at that result, or we think?
No, to be honest with you, Campoyle are rock solid.
They were home, were they?
No, they were away. They played down in Ford, but Campoyle, bar North End, they probably have the best cup history in the last decade. They've won 2 cup finals, I think, in the last 10 years. So, and a majority of that Campoyle team would have been on that. So they've a great cup tradition. They're always difficult to beat, no matter when you play against them. So I'd say they'd be eyeing a good cup run, and like they don't have these massive squads that everybody else has, so they wouldn't be making too many changes. So
the only thing that might affect them might be Ethan Horse would go back into football.
I don't think so.
The majority of them play football, like.
They do, but I think a lot of the Campoyle lads are of an age now where they'll concentrate on one code, and they'll play the football, but they won't really get serious until they're either out of the soccer or they're safe in the league, whatever way it goes. But no, the result didn't really surprise me. Ford Celtic haven't been going great the last couple of weeks, so.
Ford took the lead now, actually. It was a little half time. Ford took the lead.
So.
And Campbell came back. But as you said, they're strong enough. We have to go down there on Sunday now. And it's a strange run of fixtures for us. I was just looking back through my book today. We had Rovers away before Christmas. Then our game against Moyne was called off. We had Bunclody at home. Away to Moyne. Away to Gorey. Home to North End. And away to Campoyle this week. So there's some run of fixtures from the middle of December onwards. So
you're picking up plenty of points.
I hope we pick them up when we start getting these home games back in. So.
It was mentioned a few weeks ago, just this Ford Celtic team is a bit inconsistent. Are they, like, they had a great win against Le Bon last week, and they won 5-3, and then maybe this game, I'm not sure how this game went, but come back on the way, so they'll be looking to keep back again this week.
I think Campoyle after taking 2 results off in the last couple of weeks, haven't they, as well?
Yeah, to beat them into the
it
league.
seems that we're talking about consistency. They seem to be struggling against the more mature teams. I think they struggled against Rovers. They struggled now against Campoyle, a couple of teams. So maybe the youth has something to do with it.
And the other game you want to mention is the game in Gorey. So you were at. You want to go ahead?
Both at it.
Yeah.
Who you were at? Actually, Martin, you were at. So you go first, Martin. He talks enough.
Yeah, sure. The video highlights are out there for everyone to see, I suppose, and it kind of sums it up. I think the Moyne's best chance was in the first couple of minutes when Allen Tobin got through and Sean Allen saved it for a corner, but from then on they were playing catch up. Like, you know, they couldn't get the ball, they couldn't get possession. Gorey were, you know, sharp, 1 or 2 touch passing. It was like men against boys, to be honest. Looking in, like, you know. I know the first. I'm not a fan of the zonal marking for the corners myself. I'm the old school. I think the old saying, space can't score a goal. Like, but when you see a fella coming in getting a free header on challenge there at the near post, you know, that happened 4 or 5 times in the game. There was free headers from corners.
Yeah.
You know, it's
the second one where
I'm a fan of getting, you know, blocking the fella's run if he's making a run, step into his run.
The second one, Maloney got a head on it and it bounced in the 6 yard.
For you, Gavin, what do you know, in the whole midfielder there, he
Gavin O'Brien.
he had a good chance. He held wide
Another
back
head,
post on
yeah.
by himself as well. Second goal then sure was, Pa came for the header and he glanced off his head back. And put Anto under a bit of pressure. Anto then, sure.
And they're quick.
Shoulder shot, stole,
Yeah, like,
shot, and goal, no chance.
Yeah, so
But they're very quick. Young Brennan was brilliant up front. They know himself and Terry have such pace on the break. If they get a bit of space, there's no one going to catch him.
Paul Brennan was very good against us in the second
They're a
half.
lovely
Before
team.
that as well, very good.
And to be honest, I was up. I looked. I've seen Gorey the last couple of weeks now, and I have been very impressed with him.
Yeah,
Especially
the league match though.
The front three, especially that Paul Brennan. Looking at the chap walking into the pitch, you wouldn't think much of a footballer.
He's about 12, isn't he?
But the minute he gets out on that pitch, he's the different animal. Turret is an effing nuisance, and there's no point in trying to dress it up. He winds lads up, he gets stuck in, but he's a good footballer.
Yeah,
it's
probably some people have to be like that maybe to get themselves going or whatever. But he's always a pup. There's no doubt about it.
He's definitely a pup.
Actually, when I played with Tom Brack, we played him 2 years in a row in a pre-season friendly.
You played with Tom Brack as well?
I played with everyone. Kind of used to play to just to adapt to my age and my level of fitness, where I could be competitive. But he was, even in the pre-season friendlies, he was getting stuck in and he was mounting and he was. He's a good player. He's a good player. There's no doubt about that. He's a great pace. But
to be honest, I think one of the lads, I think it could have been Jay Murphy, texted to ask what was the score in the game, and I said it was 3-0 to mine were dirt, and Aidan and Dave were in the group and Aidan wasn't happy, but to be honest with you, I thought it was probably the worst performance I've seen the mine.
So we were going up in the car, you said you actually fancied the mine to pull one off. I was kind of, to be honest, agreeing with Paul Curran. I feared for the mine after being up at the league match. Just haven't been. I've seen mine maybe 5-6 times this season, and they just haven't been a patch on last season. I know it's hard to come back, and I suppose the start of the season with the GA and missing so many lads, and then they have a big issue there with the goalkeeper. I think since day one, Pa.
But in saying that, you're talking about, I disagree with you slightly now on it, because
on which
on with the GA and all, you're really only missing Shoddy. So you would have. Just Sunday gone out,
Oh, that's Sunday.
After the bad start of the league.
Yeah, but that's why he's on about.
I really expected I expected a performance out of the mind, because I've seen him, and for years that we were saying that they were probably a little bit soft and a little bit underbelly, but when they won the league last year, they won it actually the hardest way possible. With Gorey Roars and North End to go and get results. So I thought that was gone out of the mind. I thought they knew that they were well able to.
I do think what the mine are missing is I know probably Shoddy is probably the only kind of lad that he'll go into a 50-50 ball and he leaves something on someone or.
But Conor Bruce done it the other day. He was a massive plus for me. Chap was out. What was he out? 16 months.
He hasn't played for 16
so
months.
16 months came in, and what surprised me, I walked into the pitch and I just said, "Jeez, Bruce had carrying a bit of timber there," But he flew into 2 or 3 tackles within a couple of minutes. Especially a fella after being.
What was
such a long.
The starting formation there was a kind of a 4-3-1-2. Was it Bruce was looking very?
It was a 4-3-3 with.
Yeah, Bruce was right behind the front two, really, wasn't it?
That was the plan. Stand on Dylan O'Brien.
When he's went 2-0 down, he's changed it back to 3-4-3. I thought just got into the game a little bit for a couple of minutes, and then just to concede the third goal just before half time was a killer. And then to lose Rory just a couple of minutes after that was.
That's kind of what happened. We started well and kind of got a sucker punch, and then we had a plan going out in the second half, and that went out the window after 2 minutes, and then you're chasing. Listen, I know you have a lot of valid points about how bad we are, but I don't think you can overemphasize how good Gorey were.
That's
very good. Because Gorey are.
I was just about to say it.
Most of those young lads came through. What's the Manning school teacher? He was over all those schoolboys. John Burke. He did great work with schoolboys there for years and years, and all those fellas. But the majority of them came through.
Well, there is only one club in Gorey.
Yeah.
People go on about Gorey Celtic, and Courtown is in Courtown, so it's not even in Gorey.
That second half impressed me the other day. I hadn't noticed them much before. Did he play with Courtown? Stephen Maloney?
Stephen Maloney, yeah. So, but
it's good the other day.
The turning point, it wasn't really a turning point, but with Rory getting sent off, I can fully understand why the referee sent him off. Like, Rory did throw a hand in, whether it was a push or a hand. I thought he could have got a little bit of help with the linesman for the Gorey lad throwing him in. Like, so, no, even we were on the side of Seamus.
Was the ref kind of?
Yeah, the ref. And we seen that and we said Rory had to go straight away.
I was standing beside Morris Donoghue there, and I said, geez, I think Rory's gone here, I think he threw a punch.
So,
but when you look back on the video,
so you can understand.
More push. It's probably not in Rory to hit someone.
No,
it's not.
And in the letter of the law, once you raise your hand, you're gone.
That's
you know,
like, you can't have any complaints really.
So no.
But then what came on the video was the knee he got in the ribs.
Nobody seen that.
Nobody saw it, like.
Bar the camera, and maybe the linesman should have.
That's what I'd have to pick up on.
Like Seamus had a good game.
Like the linesman,
very good game.
The linesman had to have seen that if the linesman, you know, from the camera angle, if the linesman was coming from this side of it, he had to seen that going on. Now, I have a small issue bringing up, and I don't want to go into on the referees, but the issue that I have, and it's ongoing now, I'd love somebody to actually define what an assistant referee means. Does that mean you're assisting the referee, or are you standing there to do a line? Because I asked the linesman recently, is he going to flag if he sees something that he doesn't agree with? And he said, yes, of course I will. And the linesman at the other side of the field, later on in that game, flagged. Referee went over, confided in him, and gave a goal to Gorey when our lads swore the ball was out over the line. But at the other end of the field, the linesman didn't flag. But we said to him, Jesus, that was a very soft free. That was no free at all, he said. And sure, I said, if it was no free, why didn't you flag a referee and tell him it was no free? Sure, he's the referee. So we had one linesman who was an assistant referee, and we had another fella who was a linesman. That's what needs to be cleared up for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Big time.
Yeah, he was out the mine match out in Clabon, and Damien came out of the goal and he pulled a fella down there. The end of the linesman flagged it, and the referee just ignored it. You know, so. And the linesman down, I was behind the other goal actually. It was a penalty, wasn't it? Do you remember, Dave?
Yeah.
Even the linesman first, I said, like, it was a blatant penalty, like, you know. But
have you done any linesman training?
No.
Or assistant referee?
No, I just refereed the schoolgirls and the ladies.
You go for the.
And that's all I'll be refereeing, and that's all I'll be refereeing. Man, listen to the couple of likes of you now with Sunday morning.
Just when it's time retired.
€30,000 game for that.
But just go back on Gorey, like the way they're playing at the minute, it will be tough to stop them. Do you know, like they're playing fierce well. Like they have a very, very solid back four, back five. Sean Allen's playing well in the goal. They seem to be picking the same 4 or 5, even though it might change positions slightly.
Yeah.
But the same lads kind of seem to slot in. They're same
Midfield
trio.
He was quite enough. You know, the first in the league match up against the mine, I thought he ran the show.
Oh yeah, so
I know.
They were very good.
I had a good bit of info going up to Gorey on him.
playing well just off the front.
And we decided on a plan going up, and we put our plan into motion, and we got the better of Gorey. We could have been ahead at half time, bar with a sloppy finishing and a bit of luck on Gorey's behalf. We hit the crossbar, we hit the post, and Stephen Loney took a brave one on the line. They came out the second half, they had made one change and they made 2 more. Now, coming from the likes of ourselves, if we're making changes, you're generally weakening your team, and you're hoping that lad goes on, is trying to make an impression and play above his normal percentage level, and he's trying to make an impression for next week, so he's trying to push that little bit out of him for the last 20-25 minutes. Gorey made 4 substitutions, and I thought to finish stronger. I thought they were a stronger finishing team than what they were. I counted nearly 20 players that day, between the 18 on the card and a few more on the bench that I recognised. I was saying there was a 20 strong panel that none of the players were weak in the team, and that's very impressive, to be honest with you.
And that's what happened on Sunday as well. Like,
It
they have subs coming on that want to go on the team.
Yeah.
So they're no one taking off the pedal here. Like
You're not,
you know,
you're not weakening by bringing on a sub that's trying to impress.
It happens from time as well. Like if you have a team that's high in confidence, you make a sub comes on and you get a goal or 2. If your team is weak,
they're unbeaten since the start of the season.
If your team is weak, sometimes you bring on a sub and he just goes hiding, you know, and that does happen from time to time as well. So.
And beat momentum and for the confidence and for everything, like, you know.
Yeah.
But still, there's a long way. I was just looking at the table there today. There's a long way to go. I know, like we're saying, it's North End and it's looking between North End and Gorey, but I would never write off the Rovers as. I know there's 2 games, there's 2 extra games played.
Did you play Gorey twice as well?
They
played Gorey twice. The Hopper signed back there last week.
He's some signing above there, and to play Gorey twice, so they have to play.
The mine.
Like when you go through the Rovers panel,
so.
right? With Garfield, right? Mark McKeown, Mikey, Ian Sinnott, Carty, Ricky Fox, Ricky Dwyer, Marty Kelly, Amos back. I seen him come on as sub last week. And I thought he was finished.
Yeah.
There's some experience and some winners' medals there. That
Well,
then when you bring in the younger fellas, Eddie Black and
a couple of years ago,
John
when I was over the team, we won the league, and started the season after. We lost our first game, drew 2, and everybody said that we weren't going to win the league, and we won our final 17 games and won the league. Do you know, like, so Rovers lads are more than capable of doing that.
Plus Corey and North End are still in some of the outside competitions. Rovers have just the league and cup to focus on now, and if they get everyone injury free, Emmet Curran's a raid player.
For me,
serious players up there.
For me, him and maybe Conor Cassidy have been the best 2 players in the league that I've seen this year.
And Rovers have probably more than North End, and North End have it too. Like, but I think physicality of the Rovers, like they're all physical ball players. They can play, but they can, you know what I mean? They get stuck in.
A big call in the league for me will be the reaction of the Mine players to Sunday. If they've any bit about them, and they've any bit of respect for their manager and their management team and themselves as league champions, they'll come flying for the last 10 games of the season and try and prove a point.
Sunday's a must win.
It's probably gone out of their hands that they can win it, but they can certainly throw a few mixers in there, like who can.
Oh yeah,
who can
take points off some.
It's about the boys. And I know Inniscarty lads, we've dealt with them all our lives, and like even from school times, Inniscarty lads are notorious for not giving up, and they just don't give up. I tell my lads every time we come to Inniscarty, I tell them every time Inniscarty lads come down to us, that it's going to be a battle, and I'd like to see them Mine lads back in the and the backroom staff now and get up and get in and battle for the last few games, because a defeat like that can be detrimental to a squad. But I'd like to see the reaction to that now.
They need to win, Dave. They need to win. They haven't won for a few games now. You know, draw 100 balls there. 2 Rory games.
Ross Lair before that.
We'll come to it in the preview, but it's going to be interesting now to see what is the reaction. Back to that one.
The last game I just want to mention for a review was Ajax going away up to Dublin last week in the Leinster Junior Shield in the 4th round, and they beat Stamullen 4-1. So I think we all agree that was a great result for Ajax on the road. They're going well in the league as well this year, so it's good to have Wexford representation into the quarter final now.
We should look on Saturday in the quarter final.
We'll come to that anyway. But that was a great result for them. So
it surely was.
That wraps up the review of last weekend. Cheers.